Hey, Dave, I know
Hey,
you've
Steve.
talked about Connor and 100 points a lot, and it's not something you guys should focus on as a team, but is this something that him chasing this down is something with Gretzky and Lemieux that you guys long from now in the summer, years from now, are gonna think about being a part of?
I don't know if you're going to, you'll talk about the great season he's having, but I don't know if the chasing down the 100 points or whatever is the focal point. The focal point is to get our team playing well, and if you talk to Connor, that's his focus also. So uh, he's having a fantastic season. That goes without saying. You'll After the season, you'll remember the season he had, not the chase for 100 points.
How much do you think he's motivated by not having been in the playoffs for as many years as he has?
I think he's very motivated. He wants to, he's the captain and the leader of our team. He wants our team to play well. He wants to be a playoff team year after year, give himself a chance to win the Stanley Cup. So he's very motivated.
Reed Wilkins, 6:30 Chad.
Thanks, Sean. Hi, Dave. Well,
Morning.
you checked off a box last night by clinching, which was getting to be inevitable. I'm just wondering, not only on this year's team, but your past experiences as well. Once one goal is reached, the level of professionalism and that level of desire that is sort of required and helps teams just to keep pushing and never let off, even if they've hit one milestone.
That's the goal. You got to continue to play well. You can't just take a dip and think you're going to turn it back on again. You got to. There's a lot of things that within your team game you can work on. You've got players that you want to make sure are ready. There's lots of things to play for here. So your prep is just part of the process of continuing to play well.
And I believe last night you said a couple of guys, Shore and Haas, one might be able to come back, one might not. Are there any lineup updates?
You know what? We got a couple other guys banged up last night that were just they're getting treatments this morning, so we haven't set our lineup yet. But there's possibly a couple changes.
Thank you.
Jim Aston, Post Media.
Dave, Darnell Nurse keeps scoring goals. Did you see this in him that he would only one defenseman in the league has scored more goals than Darnell? Did you see this in Darnell last year that he might be better than 7 or 8 goals a season defenseman?
Well, he's got lots more opportunity this year, and we were looking for somebody to really, take up some of those minutes from Clefbaum, and I give Nursey a ton of credit. He came in great shape. He knew he had to raise his level to help our team be successful, and he's done that. And it's hard to say when players continue to improve and push themselves, they can get to new heights, and that's what you're seeing with Darnell. Like he's a solid player. This year, he's taken advantage of the situation of playing more minutes, and he's expanded his game and the offensive part of his game to push his game forward. So I give him a ton of credit. Whether you say that I see it coming or not see it coming, you hope it comes. Players work hard and they get better, and that's a great sign.
And Caleb Jones' minutes have not been great the last couple of games. Is that because he's making mistakes, or are you just riding other guys?
No, I think some of it is just the game situation. Played a little more last night, so it's game situation. Jimmy just different parts of the game that you're playing guys that you think you can be successful. Jonesy's been all right.
Thank you.
Tom Gazzola, TSN 1260.
Hey Dave, with clinching a playoff spot now, is it natural instinct for a coach to heighten his awareness, looking for bad habits in his group the rest of the way? And do you have to remind these guys to stick with the systems, or do they police themselves pretty good? What have you learned about this group?
No, we've had good conversations with our group about pushing forward, and we put an X beside our name last night, so you're locked in. But we've been preparing for this stretch drive for a while, and the details and how you play aren't going to change just because we've got the X beside our name. We've got to go out and play well still, and the preparation is keeps your game in the right direction. So that's our mindset. We've talked about that, and hopefully we can continue to play well.
Thanks, Dave.
Jim Aston.
How do you plan on Broberg coming into the taxi squad? Ken Holland says he's not going to play games, but how do you just have a player on the taxi squad and work him in? He's played a full season in Sweden.
The experience of him just being around our group and the everyday job of being an NHL player, he'll get a great view of that here. So it's he'll practice with the group. He'll be part of our group, but the chances are slim that he'll play. He'll practice with us and be part of our group, but the chances are slim that he plays.
Okay, and the pairing of Larson and Kulikov, it looks pretty seamless right now. Like a player's come in at the trading deadline and just slid right in with Larson. Mm-hmm. Last night's game, I thought that was maybe Kulikov's best game. But outstanding.
I would agree with you.
In terms of just an absolute shutdown pair.
Well, they continue to grow here. There's been a couple little hiccups here and there, but there's enough to like about them to keep them pushing together here. So we'll keep trying to build the continuity between the two of them. But they've both been pretty solid. I think Kulikov is, he's finding his kind of niche in the structure of how we play. His penalty killing, he's starting to get up to speed on with us. So it's been not bad so far. So we'll keep working them together, and hopefully they continue to improve.
And does Larson's game just keep getting better and better? You're playing him even more minutes the last little while than you had.
Yeah, he's been solid all year. He's had a very good year, really solid. Just whoever we've had with him, he seems like it. He just stabilizes our group and has given us a lot of real quality minutes.
Tony Brower, Oilers TV.
Good afternoon, Dave.
Afternoon.
Just wanted to confirm that Mike Smith will get the start tonight.
Yeah, Mike will play tonight, yeah.
Okay, and on the tandem of Smith and Koskinen, since Smith's return from injury early on in the year, both goalies have really provided your club with excellent goaltending. Can you speak about the tandem and why they happen to work so well off of each other?
Well, I think they're both quality goaltenders, that they get enough rest, get enough practice. They know that both of them are veteran guys enough, but they take the responsibility for their job that they have to do for our team. And Schmidt's played a little more than Koski since he's came back, and Schmidt's earned the right to do that with his play. But both the guys have been really solid, no matter what. And to be a good team, you need that consistency in that all the time, and they've given us that.
Thank you.
Last question, Darren Bowman, The Athletic.
Good morning, Dave.
Morning.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you said when Kulikov first came, your intention was to maybe try him in a couple of different places. Obviously, you feel like you found, at least for now, a spot with him or with Larson rather. I'm just curious, if you're trying to tinker with the lineup a little bit down the stretch, just for getting guys in and stuff. How do you feel like, as you try to find the right pairings on defense and up front, you can kind of manage that as you head down the stretch?
Well, we'll see how we go here. We've got tonight a couple guys mixed up, so we'll see where the lineup goes tonight. But then, coming in the rest of the week and down the stretch, you'd like to get a lineup with that you feel comfortable with, and you got to get in your rhythm and get ready for playoffs. So we've talked about that internally here, about making sure we try to get as many guys as we can up and going, especially guys that haven't played much. And then get our group with who we think will be starting in the playoffs, and get our group together and get the rhythm of that lineup going, the last part of the year. So it's a balancing act, but we'll hopefully we'll have a good plan in place, and we'll come into the playoffs with everybody being ready.
Thank you.
Yeah. One more, Jason Gregor, TSN 1260.
David, Dan will kind of follow up on Kulikov. You mentioned you want to start him with Larson. It's been really good. Do you need to see him with someone else just in case of a possible injury? Are you comfortable with that pairing? Because it seems like that would, the role you have them in kind of fits exactly for their skills.
Yeah, as they've grown, we probably would have if it would have kind of went sideways early, then you try him with somebody else. But right now we like what we see, and so we'll kind of continue with it. But you never know when a player comes in, you're just not sure where the fit would be. But he's fit in there pretty well, and each game they've got a little better, and so we want to kind of leave that, and we'll see how it goes here the last stretch. But as of right now, it seems like they're a pretty good pair.
And lastly, Dave, with 6 games to go, there's still a chance to move up and a small chance to move down, but it seems like you're locked in second. So Connor talked about you can't just flip the switch, and looking at a lot of teams, you want to go into the playoffs hot, but so how do you balance that, knowing that your team's in and you accomplished the first step? What's the message in these final 6 games to ensure that your team does the small details that you want them to do come playoff?
No, you got to stay on top of those. The details and how you play have to continue to work on every day. And Connor's exactly right. We've talked about it as a group. You just can't take your foot off the gas and then expect to jump on it again. We've got to play solid hockey, and there's some things that we'll have some focus points that we work on. Each game we might have a focus point. Okay, we want to dial this in tonight. But ultimately, you got to play well. You got to have all parts of your game in place, and that'll be our focus the last little bit here. The preparation is important, so you need to play well. If you just talk about it and don't do it, then it's not helping anybody.